This is four immeasurable qualities, right? Practice four immeasurable qualities. So this will cause us to develop the genuine aspiration bodhicitta. And for example, a very simple way to make aspiration is by reciting this prayer: may all sentient beings have happiness. These four measurable aspirations, but again, not just to recite the prayer, but with the concentration and with the strong feeling. If you can, then there is no more powerful prayer than this. If you really want to make aspiration, you can say this prayer as much as you want until you get the what do you call it, concentration, and you get the strong feeling, love and compassion. We usually say 3 times, right? Prayers say 3 times, but that's not just it's just depends how much we have the feeling. That's if still you say 3 times, you have nothing feeling, then you have to say over many times until you get the feeling. That's the point, right? Usually the practitioners get really um, feeling and concentrate within 3 times. That's why we say the 3 times. But sometimes people just don't get any feeling, so then just say the prayer, nothing in mind, not so powerful, right? So that's so important. And so when we say this prayer, happiness, free from suffering, great joy, and remain in great equanimity, right? So who would not wish for that? That's amazing. This sort of, really positive, we call it positive mental state, is the only cause of peace and harmony in the world. So, we should not think that this is only religious idea. It's not. We should not do this only when we are in the Dharma room like this. We should not do this only we have these spiritual activities. We can do this prayer wherever we like and wherever we go. Um, this prayer is about, right, love, um, the happiness, uh, freedom from suffering, joy, and equanimity. So these are very much necessary in our life. So I have to tell you this sort of very clearly, whether we are a Buddhist or not, whether we believe cause and karma or not, whether we believe, past and future life not, whoever we are, we need these qualities. Do you understand? And uh, and more importantly, Buddhist point of view, whether we practice like we practice dzogchen, or we practice preliminaries or anything else, if our practice are not based on these immeasurable aspirations, there is no beneficial at all. That's uh, because if we don't develop these qualities in our minds, then uh, when we are going to meet in sort of with difficulties, we cannot take them as a path, and our practice are not become part of the path. Therefore, uh, if we uh, connect sort of any situation directly with the positive wishes for beings and sort of mingling the situation with these qualities, happiness, joy, and understanding according to the situation, this is known as transforming every situation into the path, and all our activity is then part of the Dharma practice. Do you understand? Therefore, we should start our practice with this great aspiration. And during the practice, we should also have this great aspiration. And at the end, we should conclude in prayers with this great aspiration. Because, if the beginning is good, uh, the middle is good, and then the ending is good, all the result will be good, you know. Um, because when you start your meditate, you have this pure motivation. You correct your motivation. That's how you start your meditation in very good way. So if you have that, then your concentration, the middle is like you focus on whatever you practice is also good because based on that pure motivation. And then when you finish, you dedicate also that motivation, then good. So that's why they said, beginning good, middle good, at the end good. So if you start wrong, then middle wrong, at the end wrong, right? So therefore, this prayer really correcting your meditation, correct everything. So therefore, when you say this prayer, not just to say, right, just with concentration, with feeling from your deep bottom of your heart, say this prayer, then there is no power, no more powerful than this prayer. This prayer is so powerful. And then the good thing is this prayer is everybody can say it, no matter who you are. It's not just for Buddhists, right? So that's why this is very important. And more importantly, when we do this sort of aspiration prayers, we should also really feel the presence of all the lineage and masters right in front of us. That's another way. It's if you are Buddhist, you have to, when you say this prayer, you have to visualize and you have to really feel that your lineage, your masters, your teachers, whatever, you have a devotion, you have trust, whatever, as they are a witness to our aspiration prayers. And we know then our sort of in our heart that all the lineage and enlightened beings are supporting our aspiration prayers. If you are Buddhist, and then if you're not Buddhist, when you say this prayer, whatever you believe, whatever the most important or inspires you, you have to visualize that in front of you, as they are sort of witness for your practice, for your prayer. Uh, you know, if you do this, then sort of, your commitments will be very successful and very strong, you also not just recite this prayer and with concentration, but also you get the blessings from the lineage or from the whatever the masters. So therefore it's also very important. So whenever we practice these aspiration prayers, uh, at the same time, again, we have to make a commitment in our mind, right? That's you have to remember all the time. Uh, for example, like first, we should make again like small. Do you understand how I say this? Small commitment. Do you understand? Like small idea. Like try to uh, try to investigate your actions, all the time, if possible. That's kind of a small commitment, right? When you practice this prayer, and you should sort of try to investigate your actions, and then you should recognize if there is negative actions, right? So first you should try to recognize your actions, and then try to sort of recognize the negative actions, and once you recognize the negative actions, then uh, sort of we should make the second commitment, right? First commitment, do you understand? Try to recognize your actions, what you're doing. With second commitment, which is try to change the harmful actions. If you find something that negative actions, you should try to change, that harmful actions and transform them into your practice. That's very important to sort of when you practice, whatever you practice, not only this, right? Not only this, but whatever you practice, make a commitment. So important. Um, for example, when we read the stories of Buddha's life, uh, it is all the time mentioned that even if somebody was criticizing or hurting him, he would see it as a great teaching and great opportunity. We see that his biography, his story. So likewise, we should try to recognize the harmful actions as a great opportunity, or a great teacher or great teaching, so that we can sort of transform them into our path, or so that we can recognize our actions. Then we have chance to change, right? Um, so therefore, that's sort of, whenever we uh, practice the Dharma, the masters say is the teachings in your practice is like a mirror, When you look at the mirror, you see your face, your everything. If there is something not nice, then you can see in the mirror and then you can change it. That's similar. When you practice the teachings, and then you will see your negative actions, so that you have a chance to change. You have chance to transform, and destroy whatever the negative action. So Dharma is your practice, your meditation is like a mirror, So then if there is something wrong, you can fix it, you can see it, right? So it's very important whenever you practice to make a commitment, okay? Now, these immeasurable aspiration prayers must always be practiced with kindness and compassion. Of course, as practitioners of Buddhism, we don't wish anything harmful to anyone, right? When we practice, we don't wish anything harmful to anyone, for anything to be destroyed, or for anything to be unsuccessful. We never do that, right? That's not genuine practice, right? So therefore, whenever we practice, our practice with kindness and compassion, you know. Uh, so if you practice with whatever you practice with sort of somebody unsuccessful, or anything hurt, that kind of motivation, so bad, right? So therefore, um, uh, when we meditate, we need to practice with kindness. Otherwise, those kind of actions are definitely not spiritual or dharma actions, and definitely not good motivation. Because the true dharma, the true dharma is kindness and compassion and helping others. Because whenever, when you become a Buddhist, when you take the refuge vow, it says the Buddha Dharma Sangha. So the Dharma, the definition of Dharma is free from desire to harm others. That is the definition of Dharma, right? So we take the vow. So when you practice the Dharma, Dharma is kindness. Dharma is truth. Do you understand? Dharma is truth means like Buddha's teaching talk about the world, this world, the truth, this truth, nothing not truth. It's teachings of Buddha is talking about this world, this uh, everything. And then also the truth Dharma is ultimate level is talking about the emptiness and the today we say this the great compassion. That's the ultimate true Dharma. Relative true Dharma is everything is we can see everything is impermanence. Everything is the life is precious, and these negative emotions, the cause of suffering, all of these are true. What is not true? So therefore, the definition Dharma is the true, the free from desire to harm others. So that's why the harm others opposite is help others. So therefore, in order to help others, you need compassion, you need kindness. But that kindness and compassion is not comes our mind automatically. We have to develop that. We have to meditate. We have to concentrate. So that's why whenever we meditate with the kindness and compassion. That's why these four measurable qualities are the foundation of our practice. No matter what you practice, you have to practice based on these immeasurable qualities. And now I'm going to teach you some important instructions for practice this aspiration prayer. When we practice these immeasurable aspirations, actually each of them has 4 steps. Okay, each step has little bit different benefit that lead us our mind into different state and generate the corresponding feelings. Okay, so for example, when we meditate on love, love is here, we already talked about. So when we meditate love, when we say all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness, right? We wish for ourselves and others to have happiness and cause of happiness, right? So this wish is the first step. First step is wish. So all sentient beings. This is the wish. And the second step is aspiration, right? Aspiration. May they have happiness. May they have happiness. We generate that aspiration. Here we are not just thinking, but it's sort of stronger, right? May they have happiness. I really want them to have this, right? Sort of generate that feeling. So that is we call aspiration. And then third step is commitment, and think that I shall cause them to have happiness, right? We already talked about the commitment is the most important. I shall cause them to have happiness. Not just temporary happiness, but the cause of happiness. I will do that. It is a very strong commitment to sort of action our step. And in this step, we are getting sort of involved, we are committed, right? And then go to the fourth step, which is the inspiration. Do you understand? We say and we think about our lineage, and we think about enlightened beings, our masters, our whatever root teachers, whoever who has a capacity to give us sort of the blessings and protect all of that. So the place inspire me, we have to say, we have to visualize, we have to think our lineage, please, inspire me to be able to do so this, so that my commitment, right? My commitment, I shall cause them happy, but I have no capacity now. Please inspire me and to be able to do so, So that is the inspiration. So we think that think and inspiration of the, this case, like if you are Buddhist, your Buddha, Bodhisattvas, your lineage to help us work for the happiness of sentient beings. And also, of course, we can rely on our own what you call it, Buddha nature to inspire, right? Which is the confidence. Buddha nature is the confidence. It means I can do this. I can do this meditation. I can do this commitment. So, here feel that our intention is stronger, and we have the courage to work for the happiness of all beings joyfully without sort of becoming discouraged. So this is how we meditate on love using these 4 steps. Do you understand? You understand? And then, of course, similarly, for example, when you practice for example, equanimity, like, for example, we say all sentient beings. What is the equanimity? All sentient beings means remain a state of equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. So, what is that? Yeah. No, that's a wish. We wish for ourselves, for others, to remain in this way. That's the first step, right? This is a wish. This is the first step. And then when we say, may they remain in this way, this is the aspiration. Aspiration. And then the second, right? Second step. And then we say, I shall cause them to remain in this way. So that's our commitment. And then the inspiration, think about our lineage, the same thing, right? So that's the inspiration. And so so each, like this 4 measurables has, like, for example, meditate on compassion. We wish in sentient beings to be free from suffering, and then like that. So go through 4 this wish and aspiration, 4 steps: wish, aspiration, commitment, and requesting inspiration. Okay, so when we meditate like that, or the third, fourth, all this immeasurable, we have to actually think about these 4 steps. This helps, right? This helps how to meditate, how to develop each of this. So this kind of help. So now this section, we're going to talk about joy, right? Which is the third immeasurable aspiration. And our prayer says, may they never be part from the spline, bliss that is free from suffering. So the wish that beings never be part from the spline bliss that is free from suffering is the definition of sympathetic joy. Do you understand? Sympathetic joy. According to Buddhism, according to like Buddhist philosophy, it's so important. Whatever you learn, first you have to think the characteristic, the definition. The definition is the most important Buddhist philosophy point of view. Once you understand the definition, then you will see what is the definition of love, what is the definition of compassion. Then you can see what is the definition of human beings. Each phenomena has a definition according to Buddhist philosophy. What is the definition of fire? What is the definition of water? Each has a unique characteristics. You have to understand that, right? So that's the same thing. Here is the definition of sympathetic joy is the in our practice. The prayer says very clearly. So once we understand that, then we understand what is sympathetic joy means, right? So this is sort of wishing that all beings who already have happiness and good things continue to grow for them. So this is a little bit different than love and compassion, right? Here we have sort of, when we say the happiness and good things, actually the just happiness continue to grow for them, sympathetic joy. So here we have two different types of happiness when we talk about happiness. The temporal happiness, right? Temporal happiness, which is the happiness that exists as long as we are in this world. That's temporal happiness. And then also the happiness is everlasting, or the ultimate happiness, which is the liberation. So we have two different sort of happiness when we talk about. So may all beings, this happiness continue to grow for them. So that's the joy. So that's happiness. We have two different happiness. So very easy way to explain this, like there is a worldly happiness, right? Worldly happiness, and there is a spiritual happiness. That's actually easy to see, you know. The worldly happiness is the temporal happiness, which is happiness that exists as long as this world exists. So there's lots of happiness, worldly, and then spiritual happiness, of course, the everlasting happiness. You grow love, genuine love, great compassion, all of this, the genuine happiness, the spiritual happiness. And now when we talk about this happiness, who really wishes and who want this happiness? Who really want these two different happiness? In our Four Immeasurable prayer says all. A-L-L. All. What is that? All means all means all. All is sentient beings. All is very short. A-L-L. All is very short word, but great meaning, So who wants, yeah? Who wants this happiness? All, because, when our immeasurable aspiration become stone, we will be able to think and we will be able to act. All beings have happiness, and not just happiness, but and its causes, So at that time, not only our friends, not only our relatives or everyone who loves us have happiness and its cause, but all beings. So we should try sort of gradually to increase these qualities for all beings. So that is the reason when we recite the prayer, we say all beings. May all beings have happiness and cause of happiness. So if we don't have really time, otherwise if we I can explain these prayers in detail word by word. It's so unique. This prayer is so unique. So but we need to understand just line by line this prayer. So this happiness, that's why I said this, we all want happiness. So that's in our prayer says all beings. But first, it is very helpful to go through each step: wish, aspiration, commitment, and requesting the inspiration slowly, and thinking of sort of specific people or situation when we start, not all. That's our goal is all, but when we start, not with all. We just go step by step these different things, and also visualize specific people or situation. So we have to develop this immeasurable aspiration step by step, and put sort of small seed and sort of small commitment in our mind each time when we practice. Okay. Um, uh, we should start to practice this, aspirations with small ideas. Otherwise, we never develop them. We always think all beings like just, and you say this prayer, we all memorize this prayer and say very fastly, and then all means we cannot develop. There's nothing touched with our heart. So not all beings. When you develop, you have to really pick a specific people or situation, and very, tangible. Understand? So then we can develop. So so that's very important. That's in general. And here we are talking the third immeasurable, joy, right? Joy, remember, so Longchenpa says that if you wish to eliminate jealousy, then generate sympathetic joy. Because the joy is an antidote for jealous. Because jealousy is a very negative emotion, according to Mahayana point of view. We get jealous because attachment. We get jealous because of anger. So if we can focus on any happiness in others' life, we should try to rejoice over that and try to purify our own mind of the negative jealousy. The benefit of this practice is very great, because this practice means, you understand, right? The rejoice, or the joy, the sympathetic joy. Do you remember? There is a story. One time, Indian king invited Buddha and his followers and his disciples at his palace, and during the time when the king offered to them all of his foods, and there was an old beggar woman who saw the king invited the Buddha and his disciples, and he really filled with joy, and she thought the king has accumulated all this wealth through his positive merit, and now he has the opportunity to invite the Buddha, and by making these offerings to him, and his accumulation of merit will be even greater, And she really feels that how wonderful this is, Through her sort of perfect rejoicing, she creates sort of really amazing merit. So Buddha knew that. And when it was time to dedicate, the Buddha said to the king, would you like me to dedicate the merit of all that you have accumulated, or should I dedicate your merit to someone who is better than you? The king said, of course you should dedicate the merit, whatever has greatest source of the merit. And then Buddha dedicate the merit, the name of this old beggar woman, and also the king. So like that, the story, this story is told us that, and shows us that how rejoicing in others' good things is very beneficial. Do you understand? Because if we can meditate on sympathetic joy in this way, there is no way we can get jealous. No way jealous. When we meditate sympathetic joy, we begin with someone it is easy to rejoice for, right? So that's the same thing how you meditate love and compassion. Whatever good fortune and happiness of theirs comes to your mind, we should rejoice. We should rejoice with it and feel the positive energy of the happiness and dedicate it for them. So that's how you meditate the rejoice, this sympathetic joy. That's so important. We all know that in our life, the jealous is very, very difficult. Very difficult. When you love somebody, you get jealous. When you get angry, you get jealous. So the jealous is the very negative emotion, and that causes also not have sympathetic joy. So therefore, when we think about others' life and good things, and then we rejoice, practice with that. So, okay? That is the sympathetic joy. So you don't have to do it. It's amazing, right? Somebody offering, somebody donate whatever good things. You just rejoice. You just, you don't have to do anything. But the merit, that the benefit, exactly, actually better. Think about this story. The old beggar woman got better merit than the king, So it's how wonderful. Who doesn't want that? So sit comfortably. Now meditate on this, as Sim, close your eyes or open your eyes, whatever is comfortable, okay? And it's a little bit difficult, right? The after lunch is, but you can do it. You can do it. Just do it. Confident. And let your breath be very naturally and gently. And then start with the prayer. If you want, say the prayer one time in your mind. You don't have to say loudly, but say in your mind, just slowly. What is meaning? May all sentient beings, I don't remember. No, that's not sympathetic joy. Sympathetic joy prayer is how you start. May they never be part from the sublime bliss. That is free from suffering. Understand? Okay, say that prayer in your mind if you want, not necessarily, but if you want, one time, in your mind, and then you should think about each steps when you say the prayer: wish, aspiration, commitment, and requesting inspiration. So with that, and then thinking of specific people or situation, you know. Maybe start by focus on yourself or your family and focus on a particular source of joy in this person's life, whatever good fortune or happiness of theirs comes to your mind, and then think, may this happiness they have never leave them, but increase, continue increase more and more. So you can think. And if you cannot find anything at all to sort of rejoice over, then maybe focus on yours, situation. Sorry. I'm sure, you have some, and whatever you had done, helping others, whatever, you should rejoice. You should rejoice on it and feel that the positive energy of the good actions, and then you dedicate it, for these people, this happiness, and increase more, So that's kind of, you have to think about uh, uh, practice, how you practice the rejoicing, And during the practice, you should again make a commitment and to purify your own mind of the negative jealousy. Think about jealousy. Maybe you guys okay about jealousy. If you have jealousy, jealousy is the cause of the not sympathetic joy quality, So if you have a jealousy, I don't know, we know, right? You investigate yourself. If you have no jealous, then you're good. If you have a jealous, you have to commitment and purify, purify the negative jealous, You should examine with your mind and think that what kind of situation, what kind of people makes you jealousy, and make the commitment again, your mind, with this practice, and think about what is the benefit of jealousy, and what is the benefit of not jealousy, not have jealousy. What is the essence of jealousy? This practice actually working with the jealousy, So you have to think. And if you have a jealousy, you have to commitment in your mind. I will not, because the jealous, you will see when you get jealousy, maybe because of angry, you get angry. Maybe you get jealous because you have attachment or desire. So that's the cause of unhappiness again. So I don't want that. So you should sort of, commitment and meditate in this way. And sometimes also it's good to do sort of alternating sort of this analytic and rest in meditation. So once you, for example, investigate and think about the essence of jealous, and you can see this, and then just to relax your mind without any thinking. And everything, like when you relax your mind, you can see everything inseparable, the nature of this sympathetic joy and the nature of emptiness. So when you relax on that as much as you can, And then you start thinking again. Do you understand? That's how you practice sympathetic joy, how you develop the sympathetic joy. You understand? Okay. 2:15. Okay, let's see. Maybe we should try like 10 minutes. Can you? If you want to sleep, you can. Sleep. Sympathetic joy. Oh, you have a good night. Okay, just to relax. And maybe this time you should open your eyes. Otherwise, you're falling asleep. I'm just joking. It's whatever you want. It's whatever the comfortable. You should, and then try to practice 10 minutes. Okay.